Hey guys, this is your weekly men's devotional, and uh, and I want to start with this week by asking you a question. Are you excited for football to start back up? I am. I'm wearing my Trojans hat. I'm rooting for the Trojans. I'm rooting for the Vikings. That's my NFL team. I'm excited for football. I feel like singing the Monday Night Football song. Are you ready for some football? Yes, I am. It's going to be a lot of fun. Now, I know that some of you don't care 2 cents about football, and that's okay. I don't really care if you like football or not. But to me, it's fun. And the reason I think I enjoy football and other sports is because I like to see the leadership in sports. Like, I like to see how a coach can form and mold a team to come together and play as a team and to be successful. I like to see how a general manager recruits and puts together a roster so it all fits together and it has good team chemistry. I enjoy the leadership of sports. Now, as I said, my real concern isn't if you're ready for football or not. I actually have a bigger, more important question. The question I really want to ask you today in this men's devotional is, how are you leading spiritually? You see, every one of us is a leader. You might not think of yourself as a leader, but you are, because you have spheres of influence in your life. You have groups of friends that you influence one way or another. You have influence at your work. And if you're a husband and or a father, then your most important sphere of influence is your family, your marriage and your kids, your spouse, your wife, and your kids. You are called to be a leader. Now, God is very clear that as a leader, you are to be a spiritual leader. Now, you could either lead them away from the Lord, or you could help lead them to the Lord. That's why I don't ask the question this week of if you are a leader. I'm asking, how are you leading spiritually? Because you are leading one way or another. I like the way that Psalm 8, verses 4 through 8 challenge us. It says, "What is man that you are mindful of him, and the Son of Man that you care for him? You made him a little lower than the heavenly beings and crowned him with glory and honor." If you think about that, that's kind of cool. You're just a half step shorter, a half step below the angels themselves. And then these are the verses that really hit home for us today. You have given him dominion over the works of your hands. God has given you authority over the things that he has made. You have put all things under his feet, all sheep and oxen, and all beasts of the field, and the birds of the heavens, and the fish of the sea, whatever passes along the paths of the sea. Now, according to these verses, you have authority over all of God's creation, but I don't know too many people that are exercising their dominion over sheep and fish. Okay, so we got to ask ourselves, where am I an influence? Where do you have authority? And as you have authority over community groups or especially over your family, how are you leading spiritually? Now, to be a leader, it means, first of all, that you set an example. It's very hard to lead someone where you are not going yourself. And so you have to lead yourself to say, this is the type of man that I want to be. And then you set an example by living that out and calling others to it. Now, if you are a hypocrite, which means that you don't actually do what you say, then you're not going to be a very good leader. But if you lead with integrity and you have godly characteristics like grace and kindness and love, then you're going to be a powerful leader. You know, last week in the men's devotional, I pointed out this acronym, CHRIST, that stands for Church, Home, Representatives, Integrity, Spiritual Discipline, and Temptation. These are the things that I want to touch on in our men's devotional. And I have to admit that if I was to make up a list like this, if it wasn't for the fact of it fitting into an acronym, I probably wouldn't have put church as the first one in the list. In fact, I told that to Alberto at our church the other day, and he said, you know what? I think church, he said, I think it's good that church goes first. Because all of these others, in a sense, hinge on our active participation and service in the church. And I began to think about that, and I think he's right. In fact, if you want to be a godly leader in your home, then you're going to make church a priority for your family. If you want to be a representative in wherever you go, then you're going to be equipped to do that in the church. If you want to have integrity in your life, then the church is going to be essential for not only conviction, but also for training in righteousness. The spiritual disciplines, many of them are practiced at church, like worship and service. But also we're going to get trained to do so many of these other things that are crucial for us as men in the church. And temptation is, and being able to resist temptation, it's going to be essential that you're involved in the church. So I think that is important. I want to impress upon you this morning to ask yourself, as a spiritual leader, am I making church a priority for my family? Am I setting an example for others by how I am involved and serving in the church? Like I said, I didn't necessarily plan on doing this as one of my earliest ones, but I think that as it's played out, this is the Lord's message for you. I just want to challenge you. Are you leading your family well by helping them be involved in church? Are you setting a good example for others by showing the importance of God's community? Church attendance and service is such a rare thing today that if you do make that a priority in your life, it will strengthen your spiritual leadership. You'll stand out because of it. It's such a rare thing that you'll be a leader simply by your service in church, by making it a priority. You're the spiritual leader of your home. And so it is important for you to prioritize these things. Now, we're going to talk more next week about what it means to be a spiritual leader in the home. But today I just set the groundwork by saying, hey, how are you doing spiritually? How are you leading spiritually? And part of that, not all of it, but a big part of it starts in the church. Brothers, I'm praying for you. Let me know if there's anything I can pray with you about. Give me a call. If there's something here that resonates with you, that, hey, you got challenged, let me know. If there's some way you want to serve or get involved more, let me know. I'd love to do that with you. But, hey, brothers, we're all in this together. God bless you. Have a great week, and I can't wait to see you on Sunday.